Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys 5 totally unique ways to grow your Instagram in 2020. This video is not going to be like the rest of the videos you've watched on this topic. Everyone keeps telling me, Janet, you have to be consistent, you have to post every day, you have to reply to all the comments, you have to post quality content. We already know this. We already do all the things that everyone tells us to do. I'm posting every day. I'm replying to all the comments. I'm engaging with other bloggers. I'm commenting on other people's posts. I'm putting up stories every day. I'm putting up polls. I'm engaging people. I'm replying to DMs. This is the issue I'm going to address today. When everyone has already done the basics, you have a nice profile, you have nice content, your bio looks good, you do daily stories, but you're still not growing. I'm actually going to show you 5 different profiles that I've chosen as a sort of case study. And I'm going to go into detail on each of those profiles, why I think they're unique, what they've done to grow, and I'm also going to call up the people that own those profiles and ask them to give you some tips on how they grew their profiles. So all of these content creators have between 20,000 and 200,000 followers on Instagram, and many of them have grown quite a lot in the last 12 months. I didn't want to pick anyone that had grown a lot like 4 or 5 years ago because the tactics that we used back then simply just don't work anymore. If you guys are new to my channel, hi, I'm Janet, and this channel is Social Media Growth Hacks, all about how to grow your social media and make some money along the way. So if you want to see more videos like this about how to grow your social media, do be sure to subscribe below. Right, let's dive right into these 5 unique strategies on how to grow your Instagram in 2020. Number 1 is get super creative with your profile. These days, it's actually not enough just to take beautiful photographs and post them, as the editing is as important, if not more important, than taking a quality photograph. You want your profile to stand out, to pop. You want people to land on your profile and straight away go, wow, and decide to follow you. So I'm going to show you an example of one main profile that has that wow factor in a major way that you should consider checking out if you want inspiration on how to be super creative with your Instagram profile. So Katie used to post just lifestyle and travel photos on her feed, but she decided she wanted to do a 1-month Photoshop challenge. She announced it to her followers and she said, every day in the morning, you have a few hours to suggest a new word to me. And that evening, I'm actually going to use Photoshop and I'm going to edit a totally wacky photo that includes herself in it, in a new creative theme that she was calling Words with Katie.
I got really bored Christmas before last because I felt like I was shooting all the same photos that everybody else was shooting in London, and I just wanted to do something different. So I did my 30-day challenge in January. Started really basic, like cutting out this and like adding like a sky and stuff like that. And people just went mad for it, which I wasn't expecting, but it just went completely mental. And I was like, okay, so now I need to keep doing this because it does really well. My engagement is much better. My engagement is probably double what it was then. I think I had a massive growth that first month. So in that January where I did the challenge, I think I gained like 1,000 followers, which, considering it had taken me like 2 years to gain the previous 1,000, was amazing. If your number 1 goal is growth, if that's all you want, then certain niches are going to do better than others.
There are lots of other creators that are using this super creative approach to grow their Instagram feeds. One account that I absolutely love is Of Leather and Lace. She's one of the most skilled and talented people at Photoshop I know. She is insanely creative and super inspiring. So you should definitely check out her channel if you want to get a bit more creative with your feed. And another one is an Instagram travel couple called Follow Me Away. They sort of mix reality with fantasy in their travel destination photos. So do check out their profile. It is really unique in the travel sector, and Of Leather and Lace is really unique in the travel/lifestyle sector. Another unique way to grow your following is to be super authentic and real on your profile, showing the good with the bad, the absolute wins with the miserable off days. Irish fitness influencer Siobhan O'Hagan is a really great example of someone who's incredibly authentic on her profile, and this has actually helped her to grow in a big way. She doesn't use any filters or presets. She uploads whatever she likes on her feed whenever she likes. It's just her being real, being authentic, and it shows exactly who she is, what she's about, and why you should follow her. She now has one of the most engaged Instagram following out of any Instagrammers I know. So on some days, up to 50% of Siobhan's following, which is about 50,000 people, are actually tuning in to watch her stories on a daily basis.
So I set off my own little journey of trying to lose weight and shared everything, the highs and the lows. And I think I knew what the people who were following me wanted to see. You know, like on a Monday evening, I'd be like, look, I had a shit weekend as well. I just think being relatable is so much more important than being perfect, especially when it comes to fitness. Nobody really believes you, I think, if you're, or like, even if you do only eat chicken and broccoli, you're not going to understand what your customer wants. I try to be helpful, I try to be entertaining, I try to be myself. And yeah, I don't know what the secret is. Like, give as much as you can, give as much value. Don't do things in exchange for money.
Now, Siobhan also does something that is crazy unique and I've never heard of, and that is she decided to set up a daily email list for her Instagram followers. So they had the choice to sign up to this daily email list where she emails people a very short email about her daily musings, what she's thinking about, how she's feeling, any sort of inspirational quotes she's come across, or any good deals she's come across, and I guess any fitness tips that she wants to share from her fitness program, O Fitness.
I started doing them last year, but it was more like it was more like a blog post for me. So I'd do one maybe every 2 or 3 weeks. I might do an email. And then just in February there, I decided, right, no, I'm going to do the daily emails because I feel like no one's reading captions anymore on Instagram and I have more to say. And I enjoy writing captions. So I was like, I'm just going to put them into email. I already had maybe 8,000 or 9,000 people on an email list. So I have about 13,000 now. And that's because you obviously lose a few when you start emailing every day. Like, you're going to have definitely unsubscribed. But having people's attention to read through a full email and be able to say, here's a link to my product. And I don't do that every day. Like, I just share my thoughts. People trust me. People know me better. So with the emails, I found actually that a lot of people are screenshotting the emails. You know, if you have something interesting and they're putting it on their story and saying, loving the daily emails. So it does help my Instagram that way.
A third way to grow your Instagram following in 2020 is to collaborate with other content creators, bloggers, influencers, whoever you can find. Collaboration is an incredible way to build your following, be that in real life, if you're not in lockdown, or simply online by tagging other creators, sharing other people's photos on your profile, or maybe doing a joint Instagram live so their followers can see you and your followers can see them. Collaborating with other content creators is a great way to grow, and someone who is a great example of this is Conor Phelan Photography. So Conor is a photographer based in Dublin, Ireland. He is a landscape photographer and he is huge on collaborating with others. Every time you go to Conor's profile and look at his stories, he's always tagging other photographers, and then on his profile he's always going on trips with other photographers, whether it's a morning hike up a mountain to take sunrise shots or it's a weekend trip to the west of Ireland. He's always collaborating with other people in an effort to help them and to help himself.
The way I've kind of been growing now is collaborating with people. So working with people who are, you know, friends of mine, people who I've met through Instagram. We go climbing together and we went out to the west of Ireland. Us tagging each other, we get more followers from each other's follower base. I've got tons from you. I think a great way for me to meet these people that I've met a lot of these people through Instagram. A lot of them I've met through Igers Dublin, which is the Instagram Dublin. So like any city you go to, anywhere you go in the world, if you search, like, if you're going to Copenhagen, you go Igers Copenhagen, so IGERS. And it's like a group of photographers and they organize meetups. They call them Insta Meets. And they're really fun. So Dublin is run by a woman, Sophia, who's amazing. And she organizes all these different Insta Meets, obviously not right now. It's nice to have like a community of like, these people are similar. These like shooting landscapes. These people like shooting portraits. And creating, like, I'm in a couple of group chats with photographers and I've gone out a couple of times and met up with them and been like, we're going out to Wicklow and it's February and it's freezing cold. And you've got like 12 lads who are like, yeah, of course we're going to go. So that's nice to have that community. The other thing is actually a really good way to grow is sharing the raw files and saying, hey, do you want to edit my photo? This is a photo I've taken. Here's the raw file. You stick it up on like a Dropbox link or whatever, get people to download it, and then people will edit it their own way. So first of all, you get to see different editing processes, which is great. And then secondly, you'll get people sharing. So say 5 people download your raw, they'll share that to their story and go, hey, here's an edit I did of this person's. And they go, oh, what's that person? And then you have a look. So that's a really good way. I've seen a lot of people grow with that.
You will see that many big photographers on Instagram follow a similar path. People like Emmett Sparling, at Jacob, at Jord Hammond, at Do You Travel, at Sasha Juilliard. All these big guys are always collaborating with each other. They're doing trips together, they're hanging out together, they're going to the beach together, they're sharing each other's Instagram presets. anything to collaborate, to share and build up other people is going to help you in return. Another way to grow your following in 2020 is to niche down. Now, we all know the importance of a niche, and we're all told from the very start, like, what's your niche? Is it travel? Is it lifestyle? Is it fitness? But how far do we really need to niche down? Because in 2020, I don't think just being a travel account or a fitness account is actually enough to help you grow. Angela from Pineapples and Pretty Walls is an example of an incredible person and profile that decided to niche way down, and it really helped her to grow her Instagram following. So she only posts about pretty colourful walls, so you can check out her profile here. And as you can see, it's just pretty walls. She doesn't post about landscapes or mountains or rivers or anything else about a city or food. It just has to be super colourful. So if you're landing on her profile and you're really into that style of photography and you love bright colourful places, you're probably going to follow her straight away. And she says it's really helped her to grow her Instagram profile.
My biggest piece of advice for people when they ask how to grow is to pick your thing and run with it. So like, pick what you want to be known for. That way people know what to expect from you. And I also think when working with brands, it does give you a wider scope, because one, brands know exactly what to expect from you, but also you can kind of get into the more specific things with that niche instead of having such a broad thing where your audience doesn't know what is coming next. The last couple years have been the most growth for me, and it's when, if you like scroll back down in my feed, you'll see that I kind of was experimenting and then found what worked and stuck with it. And so I think it does take some experimenting to see what your audience responds to, but once you find that, stick with it. And so it ended up being walls and authentic stories for me. Kind of just filtering the pictures but not filtering the stories has been what works best for me. And then a great way to grow is to either find brands or other influencers and collaborate with them. Especially collaborating with influencers, I think, is huge. I think the giveaway is a huge one, because everybody loves free stuff, and that's a really good way to share your audiences with, like I said, either a brand or another influencer. Even if you both have 100 followers, you can work together. Yeah. Figure out who you're trying to target and go find them. Go target them yourself. Instagram, the algorithm's all over the place. They're not always going to find you. So go find hashtags that are really specific to what you're looking for, and find those people and engage in their posts. You know, like a few, comment, build a relationship. I know I keep talking about connection, but I think it's the most important thing. I respond to every single comment, which is huge in the algorithm and in building connections with people. I respond to every single DM. I go live and just chat with people, and I think just letting people into your life and letting them feel like they know you versus just somebody who posts perfectly posed photos all the time, letting them really in to see the real parts of your life is a big one as well. I think lives are also great to grow right now because everybody's home and they're looking for exciting content. So like when I go live and chat with just chat, it's more just to kind of connect with my followers, but I also do every Friday I do a songwriters round. So I invite different songwriters and they come and they perform on my live. And so it's something that people can watch. It's entertaining.
You will notice that quite a few people have started doing this. The Blonde Flamingo, who has been around for a while, has really niched down to sort of a very pink and very girly theme. So you can check out her profile here. And the Sweet Wanderlust does a really cool mix of travel and desserts. So if you are a sweet tooth and you also love to travel, you're probably going to want to follow the Sweet Wanderlust. Finally, one way to grow in 2020 is to be incredibly consistent and create content that inspires. This is the kind of profile where when you land on it, every single photo makes you want to save it for later. Makes you dream of faraway exotic lands, makes you want to book your next trip, and makes you want to empty your bank account and book a flight straight away. It's the kind of profile where you're probably going to screenshot or save the photo, upload it on your own stories, and proclaim to the world that this is another beautiful place you're adding to your never-ending bucket list. An account that actually excels at this type of content is A Girl Who Blooms, which is Irish travel influencer couple Siobhan and Joe. Siobhan and Joe actually quit their job after hitting just 10,000 followers, determined to perfect their photography and editing skills and to travel the world while inspiring others to do the same.
Well, we started 2 years ago. Basically, our account was a food account for like a little while, and we grew it to 3,000 followers, and then we had a conversation and we said, what is it about travel that we really love? And it's not really the food, it's like the experiences. So we focused on trying through our photos to create an experience where people could see themselves there. So we wanted it to be not so much about ourselves, like me in the photo, but the place, the destination, and, you know, to get people to be interested to go to this place that they might not have seen before, or, you know, might not have considered going before. We moved to Malaysia, and it's such an amazing base there to travel. We were able to very cheaply go on trips, different countries. Once or twice a month, we went to a new destination. You're uploading photos and you're uploading stories of this new place through your eyes, and people follow that, and they continue to follow that, and their friends follow that because you have a story, and that's the big reason to follow someone and for an account to grow, because you're giving people new and exciting things to look at every time they kind of tune into your account. My husband, he actually is the editor. He's learned everything from scratch. He's not a photographer, but you don't need to be, and I think that's like really important for people to know. We started out and we got to 100,000 followers with a camera that cost €600 without any like additional lenses or anything. Put the time in with YouTube tutorials, figure out what you like, try and develop kind of consistency in that way. That helps a lot if you kind of put the time in early on.
You will obviously find a lot of profiles out there on Instagram like this that aim to inspire and create this sort of other world of dreamy images that you're going to constantly want to add to your bucket list. Other dreamy accounts include Destination Chaser and The Wandering Lens, whose photos are so beautiful and so dreamy that sometimes I have to question if they're real or not. They're from beautiful places like Australia and Africa and Greenland, but they really would make you question if they're real or not. That is how dreamy and inspirational they are. So that's it, guys. I hope this video has provided you with some new ideas on how to grow your Instagram in 2020. I wanted to stay away from all the normal things that people recommend and just go a bit more quirky and a bit more unique. So I'm going to list everyone's profiles down below if you want to follow them, and do be sure to subscribe if you would like to watch more content like this in the future. Thanks for watching, and let's grow our social media together.